Morning everybody, it's the 3rd of April, another cold morning up in Newcastle unfortunately. It was a nice weekend, but very cold again this morning outside. A little update on what's going on today. We have got young Matty's doing a full service on a GTR, a local customer I believe. Jan is getting Parv's car buttoned up, ready to go back to the customer. He wants to use that car on the street, so it's had a service, it needs things like under trays finished, tidied up. Yeah, a little few finishing touches and that car's ready to go back to the customer to enjoy on the street. Jimmy is finishing up an engine build. Scotty is working on Scott's GTR, so that one had a crack in the turbo manifold and a little bit of maintenance work while the engine's out as well. Dean is trying to repair the TTRS fuel system. Unfortunately, we've had a problem with the fuel pump controller, so we're working on that now, trying to come up with a solution. And Kyle is progressing some projects as well. So another busy start of the week as usual. We've got Jürgen in. Jürgen, you were saying we've just had a very nice Tommy Mac Evo dropped off as well.
Yeah,
I believe got a bit of a job code there, haven't you?
Yeah, so the Tommy Mac came in for, I believe, 3mm lash adjusters, which is like a common sort of Mitsubishi with a bit noisy on the top end.
Right.
Customer supplied his own HGS time and belt kit with pulleys.
Yeah.
We're going to do balance shaft delete kit in it as well.
Yeah.
Only obviously service, engine oil filter, gearbox, transfer oil, all of that's getting done. The only issue is obviously I was out.
Yeah, when he's dropped the car off, I spoke to the customer, he's got a misfire as well. So first job, before we do any maintenance, is to fix the misfire, make sure the engine runs right. So yeah.
So before we do what it's booked in for,
exactly,
we need to
it's
make
got an
sure
extra job.
There's not an issue with the engine, especially if it's misfiring. So we're going to do a compression test, check the plugs, check the coils. If that's good, then we'll put on the dyno, make sure it does what it's supposed to be done before we start taking timing belts and that off.
Yeah. Hopefully that's an easy fix and we'll move on with the service work.
So yeah, so kind of again, it's typical, isn't it? So things just change.
Best laid plans, best laid plans, and then the car comes in with a little bit extra work to do as well, which can't be foreseen. Unfortunately, the guy's got a misfire, so we need to fix that. Yeah, so we're just I'm just literally trying to plan the rest of the week and chop and change stuff. Obviously, we had some guys off last week, so absolutely course chaos for this week. So I'm trying to see how I can sort of manage that the best I can. Yeah. So yeah. Awesome. I'll leave you to it. Guys. Haggy is on the parts inquiries this morning. I believe you were just saying the exchange rate's pretty good in Japan. Is that right? It is very good. Yeah. It's a very volatile sort of fluctuating market, so there's no guarantees that you're gonna get a bargain.
That's what a few weeks, a month have been quite sort of dead. So just checked it this morning and was pleasantly surprised. So
happy days.
Time to buy a car and parts, and obviously. So
typically, because I don't deal with the import side of things, if you were buying something, say 10 grand, what difference would that make on your pounds?
That was a good day yesterday, wasn't it?
Got the Royal Mailman in today. Newcastle fan, aren't you? Geordie, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, and you know he's a Man U fan, don't you?
Does he comes in every day. He's only one United.
Exactly.
I did say they were going to win, didn't I? You did do. I think I said that to Chris as well.
Yeah.
So if you want any predictions, guys, hit me up.
Yeah, Jürgen knows. Alright, mate, see you.
So it would basically make a substantial difference, put it that way.
Right, okay.
Not massive, but every penny helps.
Few hundred quid or?
Yeah,
so a few hundred quid on 10 grand, see.
Obviously with the
if you're buying a car at 100 grand, then obviously it's a fair saving to be made. So yeah, Dale's off this week. He's on holiday with his family, half term. A lot of the kids are off school and whatever. So yeah, so he's out and about, and I'll have a check in later. I've got a trade customer on the dyno, so I might try and get a bit of footage of that as well. So if you are a tuner and you do need dyno facilities, you can drop me a message, chris@jmimports.co.uk, and arrange to use some dyno times. That's like myself as a dyno operator, we strap it, we run the car. But if you want to do logs, you want to do back-to-back runs, tuning, things like that, you can do it in our environment. So yeah, get some good trade rates for that. So drop us a message. All right, stay tuned, and we'll see what's going on later on.
So Monday, after a good start, we're here with Mark's stunning R35. He's also took advantage of this here. So we are your main dealer for 4-second racing as well. Saved a bit of money there. But Mark is also in for a full service. So that's obviously the engine oil filter, gearbox, and all the diffs, and also the spark plugs. So be ready for summer. Just to note as well, I don't know if Chris has touched base, but obviously with our new alignment machine here, we now actually have the ability to save settings on alignment. So especially drag racing, even sort of track race sort of settings as well. So like if you go to Croft or have a certain sort of setup there, you can save it on this computer. There is a cost, and then if you go to a different circuit like done it or something like that, you can also save it on there, so you can go between settings, which is very, very cool.
So you join us in the dyno now. Put this nice Mercedes in from Gad Tuning North East. Apologies for the noise in the background. So, like I said in the office, we do packages for tuners where you can come and hire the dyno and an operator, such as myself. We strap the car, we set the car up on the computer, and you can then take your logs or do any data kind of work that you want in the safety of the dyno cell. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, icy, whatever. Obviously you can still get your work done. In this particular instance, he's been doing some base runs, so done some power runs. He's got his data, he's got his graphs. He's now going to go away, have some hardware fitted, and then bring the car back once he's tuned it, and again take some more logs, do some final power runs, and then he'll know exactly what he has given the customer. So if you're interested in that, like I said before, drop me an email on chris@jm-imports.co.uk. Right, on to the next job. Right, so that's the end of another busy Monday at JM. Mondays are always manic. A couple of days off at the weekend always leads to a lot more inquiries and things like that to get caught up on. So yeah, so unfortunately not been a lot of filming today. Do apologise for that, but it's just been one of them Mondays where I've just got to get on with things in the office and get things sorted. I think Callum took you through this GTR a little bit earlier on, some new carbon parts. We're getting fitted to that. So the rear diffuser's now on, rear spats are on, a few other bits as well. Matty's doing a great job of that, and he's continuing on with that tomorrow. Tomorrow we also have this silver Maserati Gran Turismo in, a very nice example, 4.7 Gran Turismo. And sort of an interesting fact about that car, I very nearly bought that car in 2021. I was in the market for a Gran Turismo. I wanted either a silver or a white one. I've actually ended up buying a white one. And this exact car came up with a dealer down south. I messaged them for some more information about the car. They did get back to us pretty much straight away and gave us that information. And I kind of sat on it. I was lazy. I left it for a week or so while I kind of made my mind up. And then by the time I replied, it had already sold. Sold to a fairly local guy called Martin. And then to my surprise, Martin dropped us a message, an inquiry for some service work on the exact car a little while later. He's back with us now. He's become a regular customer. It is a very nice car. I do still love them in silver. I am very happy with my white one, but you know, this is definitely a very close sort of second for me. I would have liked that car. And he's come in for some handbrake repairs. Quite a common problem, I think. So we're going to get the rear drums off that tomorrow, the handbrake inside the drum of the disc, and inspect that and see what it needs. Hopefully it doesn't need any parts, and it's just an adjustment. In other news, or in other parts of the job, over the weekend, I don't know if it's been vlogged, because Jürgen was in and I wasn't. We've had Barry's show-winning GTR dropped off. Barry is selling this car. So if you're in the market for a built engine, 1,000 brake horsepower, air ride, body kit, full leather retrim interior, give us a message, try and get ahead of the queue. I know Jürgen's going to be shooting this very soon, doing a photo shoot and getting it on our socials and on our website for sale. It is a stunning car, like I say, it is award winning, it has won shows. Give you a little look under the bonnet. Under here, there's a lot of chrome, a lot of titanium, a lot of carbon fibre, and it is a very, very beautiful looking car. A lot of extras. So yeah, if you're on the market for something like that, drop us a message and get ahead of the queue. That's it for today. Tomorrow, carrying on with these projects that we've got in here. Romain is here on Wednesday too, so very busy times. So yeah, so stay tuned and we'll see you then.
Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday, so another busy week at JM. We've just had obviously you've seen in last week's vlog, we had that Chevy that burst a tyre on the dyno, that's just arrived outside. Chris is busy on the dyno doing an APR stage 1 tune on a Audi RS6, so Chris will do a little vlog on that. Jasper might be collecting his car today, finally Jasper. And the lads are busy in the workshop. We've got Romain in tomorrow, so lots to do, and I'll show you around, see what's going on. So we've got this Maserati in, had a few of these now. Matty's having a look at the brakes, there's an issue with the parking brake. Same car as Christopher has at GM. So we're doing a few of these courtesy of Chris. This one's been in before for other jobs as well. So if you're a Maserati owner and you like them, give us a shout and we can look after you. And that is the Audi RS6 that Chris is doing an APR stage 1.
He's working locally and he's dropped this beauty in today for us to do it. And Chris may be in the car, is he? There he is. The man himself. V6 TFSI Audi RS6. You know what? These are the best estate cars going, in my opinion. Unbelievable cars. So if you're after stage 1 or stage 2 tune on an Audi RS6, just send us a message at chris@jmimports.co.uk and Chris will update the results later on. The car that we're working on is Mark's GM650. We're doing some sort of carbon kit installation from our friends at 4 Second Racing. So Matty's been working on that. It's also come in for a full service and some other bits and bobs. It's a nice car. This was actually in Carwow a while ago. So this is sort of like the perfect car for me. 4.25, clean car, low mileage, local owner as well. So that's what everybody wants, isn't it? A GTR like this. What a beautiful car. And while I got you guys, our new machine is installed, our Pro Hunter alignment. We're just waiting calibration and then she's ready to be used. Jimmy is putting Parv's street tyres on his car. So Parv is going to be picking his car up this weekend. I bet at playtime. Parv, look at the size of those tyres. Chris is doing some welding on this OEM turbo for Scotty's car. As you can see, these can crack after a while. This one's done about 12,000 miles and Chris is repairing this. Chris is our new fabricator who's joined, so more about him later on. So there's Chris, our new welder fabricator, also a mechanic. So Chris, what is it we've got there?
Basically we're making a shifter mount for the Supra, for the BMW gearbox. So obviously with the shifter not sitting central in the car and no way to mount it, we're producing a mount for the car.
Perfect. So, meet Chris, everybody. Woo! So guys, Ross's car. We've been working on the throttle pedals, which are in now, all customised. Dean's doing some wiring. Once the wiring's complete, I believe he will then be getting the base map from Remain, and then we should be able to fire the car up, and then we'll be able to potentially test the gearbox to make sure everything is shifting as it should, and get this back to Ross so he can use it to some events. Caroline, Jan is working on your car. All that is for your car. It's been fitted. Obviously we had an issue with the boost leak. I think Jan has resolved it. There's a little plug for you, Caroline. If you want some aesthetics, give Caroline a shout.
Right, you join me in the dyno cell with the RS6 that Jürgen mentioned earlier on. The APR stage 1 tune is now loaded. We've done any revisions that's been needed, checked some data, and now it's just time for a power run. So I'm going to put the camera on its stand and let you hear this thing at full chat on the dyno. So that's the APR stage 1 loaded and tested on the car. Now just time for some power runs. So I'll get some footage of that and see what you think. let's check out the graph. Right, so results time. The Audi RS6 has done fantastic with the APR stage 1. Red line is before, blue line is after. It was making 525 at the wheels beforehand, it's now making 587. A quick bit of maths for the transmission loss of 15% puts this car around about 691 brake horsepower approximately. The other big headline number is the torque. The torque has increased massively from 510 at the wheels to 718. That's a huge jump, particularly as you can see in the mid-range. So, you know, fantastic results once again from APR. Let's get, because Jürgen's creeping up on us. Jürgen's reaction.
Did it make good power? Always.
What about the torque?
Massive. Yeah, so that's where he's going to notice a little torque.
It's a different animal now, isn't it? So yeah, I'm sure it'll be another happy customer. We'll get these graphs printed off from, get the car unstrapped.
Chris, what I was saying before was that, for me, I think these are one of the best estate cars out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, totally agree. If I sort of had the budget to run a V8 daily, that would be the one.
The second best car is an R36 Passat estate.
Yeah, another
No,
fantastic
honestly,
estate.
they're reminders of one of these.
Yeah, like a kind of mini one of them.
Not the same,
not quite as aggressive.
not the same money as well.
Yeah, but no, awesome car, lovely car in this spec as well. So yeah, very nice thing, and now it's got the even more power to match its looks. I get unstrapped, and we'll get on to the next part of the day.
So, Mr. Hamid has popped into GM for his regular visit. Hamid?
How we doing? You alright?
Yeah,
You good,
obviously.
Jackie?
Yeah, good.
What's up?
Obviously, those who've been following the YouTube know that Hamid had an issue with his gearbox.
Yeah.
And
It was, to be fair, it was the last thing that hadn't. Well, I hadn't had an issue. I've never had a problem with the gearbox. To be fair, never had a problem. Been on it for a while.
yeah,
Um,
probably not rated to what it's supposed to
nowhere
be.
near. But it lived a good life, to be fair. And funny enough, the piece that went was actually an OEM piece.
Yeah, and,
So it was the final drive. So
and the good news is that it happened before it went racing as well.
yes, I know.
So yeah, so basically Kyle's been working overtime and night times getting your box ready, honey.
Well, it could have been worse. We could have gone all the way to pod, and then I would have launched it the first time, and then it would have like exploded then.
Or the first street pull.
All the first street pull, and that was 18 months of waiting down the drain. So at least that happened on the dyno, and it wasn't me that was driving, it was Romain.
Yeah.
So always make sure you're not the one that drives the car.
So
Make sure
obviously after
Romain's
work,
driving.
after work today, Kyle's going to spend a few hours working on it, try and get it ready for Remain tomorrow. I think Kyle said he had a couple of hours left on it. So I'm hoping Kyle does his magic between 5 and 7 tonight and get this box ready for Remain. So yeah, that's Hamid.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
So that was it for the day, guys. Waiting for Remain to come tomorrow. We've got a Chevy that's coming in for some tuning, R8 to finish, Paul Cameron's TTRS, and then other little small jobs on other cars. So for now, stay tuned for tomorrow. Morning everyone, 5th of April. Mr. Remain's in the house. We've got some cars to map. We've got a big Chevy Bel Air. We've got the Caroline's TT R8 to finish off. We've got Paul's TTRS. Some other little niggles as well, as I was explaining yesterday. Some little cars need some tweaks and changes. So let's update and see what's going on in the shop. Let's go. It's raining in Newcastle, it's not snowing. We've got GMD.
Going on.
Matt is here.
Need some windscreen wipers.
Dale,
Gaps like.
Dale, what's happening?
Dale, where are you?
Dale's on holiday, but yeah.
Mate, I wanted to see you. You weren't here.
There we go. So you are preparing this car for sale. It's a GM 1000 GTR that we built many years ago for Baz. And as usual, we always look after it and refresh it and stuff. So Matty is going to prepare it, and then it's going to go on the website. So what else we got at GM? We have Dan's Evo 6. Tommy Mackinnon had a misfire. We found some water in the spark plugs, so we put that in. Misfire sorted. We're now going to test it, and then go on to the next phase of works with that. But let's go into the main shop and see what's going on there before I get wet. So Chris is on the bench, and I believe this is Ross's exhaust. That's got a couple of modifications. I believe we're doing a couple of hangers, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to obviously the hangers in the wrong place due to the floor change, so we're putting a new hanger on.
Good. And are you enjoying your first week?
Absolutely loving it.
Yeah. So Chris has been busy this week. So this beast is back, but the lads had it on the dyno this morning and it's got an issue with the belt. tensioner. It's not sitting right and it keeps throwing the belt off. I feel for Rick, the owner, but these things happen with these cars, and no doubt he will take it back and bring it back when it's sorted, and then we'll finally get to see this in full action. I can't wait to see this. It's just something totally different, but what a cool machine that is. And young Matty is doing an oil and filter on this local S15. I'm sure you are aware of it. It's the one that we imported for Sparkles. You'll see his YouTube channel. He's a gamer and does giveaways, and he bought this for his friend. So oil and filter change on this, and then it's back to him today. So just a quick job for Matty this morning. Lambo's on the ramp for a quick little job. Had a little bit of a leak on one of the fittings, so that got replaced, so it's coming back off now. Jan is working on Lamborghini. We're going to have a look at the fuel system and the evap on this twin turbo car. We've got a little bit of a weird issue when he fills up for petrol. It sort of draws air in for about 5 seconds or so. So we're going to try and find out what is going on with that car. The issue only appears when he fills it up for fuel, so it's pretty bit of a strange one. So Jan's going to have a look at that and see what is going on. Big job, as the roof has to come off to get access to the fuel tank in this. Your car is looking like a car now. Dean's been working his arse off on this, and I believe he's almost ready to get this fired up soon and test this gearbox.
Not long now.
Not long. What is it you're doing today? I saw that you were modifying the exhaust.
Yeah, so because we removed the boot floor, the hanger for the exhaust is no longer where I needed it to be, so we put a custom hanger in to pick up one of the other points.
Yeah.
I've also I've just fit the rest of the exhaust, obviously. Heat wraps the areas which are near components, so the downpipe and stuff is near some lines and some wires, so that's been heat wrapped. And then today we are fitting the catch can in the engine bay.
Yeah,
but
some
also,
custom stuff, yeah?
Also a catch can in the boot as well for the dry sump.
Dry sump, yeah. Cool, I'll let Dean get on because he's very busy. So yeah, what a car. So we've got Big Scott in the engine room. In fact, if I go like this, look like I'm bigger than you. 7'3", big giant. So that is Scotty's doing Scotty's sump.
I am, yes.
Yeah, so let's go over and have a look at that engine anyway.
Let's go and have a look.
So I'll follow Scott. I'll definitely not lose Scott. So guys, Scotty, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch your channel, so Scott's been working very hard on this and he's cleaned everything up. We're going to put new sealer all around your timing case cover, brand new gaskets. He's obviously cleaned this sump, he's resealed everything, and then you shouldn't have any leaks at all now. Any minor weeps away, but you know, it's good to do this and keep on top of it. But yeah, so Scotty's sorting that out for you, and then it will be going in the car hopefully by the end of the week. But we do have a bank holiday to ruin the stuff, as per usual. Bank holidays are a vein in my life at the minute. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm really switching the dyno on the car. So let's have a look at these plates.
So Caroline, your R8 is done, or not quite done, but done on the dyno with Remain. We just need to go out on the road, do some testing. It's unfortunately raining today. Obviously I'm a competent driver, but you know, 1,000 horsepower plus a rain is not ideal, so we're not going to do that. I want to flip the camera around and show you some sort of graphs where we're at and show you what we've been doing. So as you can see, this is the wheels. So well over 1,000 horsepower on your R8. Obviously we'll clean them graphs up later on. But yeah, you've got 1,000 horsepower Audi R8. Congratulations. So just going to come check what the boys are up to. That is looking rather nice. Jimmy's been building. And Jimmy is there. Jimmy, you alright? I can see James's engine is nearly complete now.
Yeah, we're kind of. I've got front cover to do on that, and pulleys and the usual bits and pieces. But we've got Nathan Lang's bits.
Nathan, you're next, mate.
So his block's there. His covers are prepped and cleaned.
There's Nathan's block.
Through the heads, double check the heads, sort of QC them.
Yeah.
Go on reports, get some things in the wash. So that's happening while I'm finishing this one.
Yeah.
And then we'll be on the Nathan's.
And then all go on Nathan's.
Yeah.
Perfect. There we go, James. Beautiful engine, fully assembled, and it'll be ready for Scotty to install in your car. So Jimmy, I will let you crack on because I know you're very, very busy and we're up against it as it is already. So that is it for now in here. Checking on Kyle. Kyle is working on Hamid's new Linny F1, I think.
Yeah, certainly is.
And it's a monster one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, are you enjoying this one? Was it
I enjoy them all. It's a bit
tricky.
Aye,
Yeah.
certainly.
With it being new and different, innit?
Yeah.
Different size gears.
So it's just figuring out what shims go where and
Yeah.
just making sure everything's smooth.
Yeah. Big shout out to Ben as well. Ben, I know you like watching the vlogs. There's your gear set being assembled by Kyle. So Kyle would have been working on Warren's car today, but the plenum hasn't come. We've had to jump on this just to progress things. So Warren, if you're watching, we're waiting on your plenum. Sorry, yeah, that's it. If you're watching, we're waiting on your plenum. So Kyle, I'm going to let you crack on.
May I?
And let you build and progress Hamid's gearbox. So Scotty, engine is there. Timing cover's on. This is very confusing because there's two Scots. Scott's is the guy who owns it. Scott's the one who's putting it together. He's got the VVT covers to go on, and then he's ready to assemble it and then put it back in its hole. So Scott, I'm going to leave you. And Scott, thank you for watching.
So it's Haggy here, as you see now in a dyno. That's a Mark IV Supra, which is now being converted to a ZF, which is a BMW 8-speed gearbox. Getting quite popular now, I would say. Really good alternative to the stock 4-speed. I'm a supporter of the V160, but watching what these cars can do now with those gearboxes, you know, it has some serious capabilities. So if you would like a quote on a similar sort of swap for your car, my email is at sales@jmimports.co.uk, and we can talk options on there. Also on the import note, possibly one of the nicest TMEs I've seen for a long while, like a Evo 6.5 is arrived with us for time belt, water pump and a few other goodies. But guys, have a look at this, it's unbelievable how clean this thing is. Absolutely timeless shape as well. With all kind of door mirrors as well included. So to close up on today, Wednesday, finally I know Parv, I know you've been waiting for a while, so your car is pretty much almost done for collection and to be used on the road as well. And bear in mind this is I think Europe's fastest R35, sort of in road trim as well, which is crazy to think, especially the power that it is. But Parv, I know you're going to enjoy this one, so take care, mate. To end on that note as well, we just noted that it does look like the candy shop.
Yeah. So what do you want?
So it's literally blue.
Do you want?
Wait, I'll come back here.
Come on, Aggie. What do you want? Do you want orange, yellow, gold, pink, blue, purple? Purple over there.
Oh, purple
Yeah,
over there.
white over there.
Yeah, white.
Or do you just want silver?
Basically all the colours of the rainbow.
All the
But
colours of the rainbow.
the question is, which car would you pick?
This one.
So that is all for today, guys. I hope you like the videos we're doing. Don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, share, comment, good, bad. Okay.